Welcome to Cleveland, Ohio. Welcome to First Energy Stadium, home of the Browns. The Lions going on the road here in Week 11 to take on the Browns, who are trying to stay above 500 coming into this one. Alongside Lomas Brown, I'm Dannie Rogers. The final for this one, Browns 13, Lions 10. A second half comeback coming up too short for these Lions. Lomas, we're just walking off the field. What are your thoughts after that Week 11 matchup?
Yeah, proud of the defense. I thought they did good compared to all the weapons that they had, slowing down Nick Chubb, slowing down Baker Mayfield. I thought they did a very good job not giving up the big chunk plays. Just offensively, Danny, we just didn't help the defense today. You know, again, being shut out in the first half of the game. We kind of knew it was going to be a little rust with Tim Boyle. I mean, the guy hadn't played all year long, so we knew it was going to be a little rust with him. But, again, just expected more out of the offense to help our defense out today.
Of course, all eyes were on quarterback Tim Boyle as he was set to make his first start in the NFL. He, of course, backed up Aaron Rodgers there in Green Bay for the last 3 seasons. Preseason, he injures his thumb, he breaks it. He's been rehabbing since then, goes in there to get the start and leads a couple of drives to get these Lions on the board. But like you said, offense just coming up too short. A bright spot, that 57-yard touchdown by DeAndre Swift. We keep seeing those big plays from him in back-to-back games.
We do. I mean, if we just give him an opportunity, man, he's going to come up with 1 or 2 big plays per game. You're right. That was just such a nice run that he had on that 57-yard touchdown. And once you get him out in the open, I don't think it's too many guys that can bring him down or catch him out in the open. So I'm very happy with DeAndre. It was good to see Jamal Williams back today. So I'm hopefully, you know, with those guys back in place, hopefully we could start getting the offense on track, and hopefully the wide receivers will be able to help us out some, because that's the big thing with the Lions offense right now, our receiving core.
It looks like it might be an uphill battle for this offense to get back into rhythm. You saw center Evan Brown leave this game. Then you saw Big V Vaitai leave this game as well. A rookie replaces Vaitai there. Ryan McCollum, you have Tommy Kramer stepping up into that center position. There's still going to be an uphill battle for this offense, though.
It really is. But, Danny, I was encouraged. I mean, think about it. They had Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney, 2 of the best pass rushers in the league. I thought we did a nice job of containing those guys. Myles Garrett didn't get a sack today. So I thought they did a very good job, especially when we dropped back to throw the ball. But like you said, just starting to get the pieces back. Hopefully, man, these guys will be able to gel, especially with this short week coming up. And hopefully this is enough to get Tim comfortable back there. I thought they did some nice jobs to keep him comfortable back there. I'm talking about Coach Campbell and offensive coordinator Anthony Lynn. So they're just going to have to continue to do that until he builds his confidence back up.
Tim Boyle, looking at his stats, 15 of 23 on the day for 77 yards. You have 2 interceptions, which we were holding our breath for. Back starting your first NFL game, there's a chance that that's going to happen. It did. It happened earlier in this game, though, to where there weren't a ton of daggers coming from that side of the ball. But how can Tim Boyle grow from this performance?
Well, I think the thing he can do is, again, trust the guys. And look, Danny, that's going to come with time. That's going to come with practice. That's going to come with knowing the guys are going to be in the spots that they're supposed to be at. And like I say, it's a lot to put on Tim Boyle right now, a guy that's been sitting for the first 9 games of the season. But I do think they can get some rhythm. I do think it's some things that they can work on to get more consistent, to be a more explosive offense. And I think you see little things. They got T.J. Hawkinson back involved in the game plan, which is a good sight. Amar-Ra St. Brown, he got a few catches today. So, again, he's just going to have to incorporate the ball into as many different receivers and many different players as he can, so he can start getting comfortable with this offense.
Let's dig deeper into that receiving core. Looking at tight end T.J. Hawkinson's stats, 8 targets, 6 receptions, 451 yards. Longest reception is being 24, so you're right, they are working him back into this game. And then everyone was pretty excited to see what wide receiver Josh Reynolds, who provides a big target downfield, what he would do today, coming off of waivers from Tennessee Titans. A week ago, he gets his first game action, 3 targets, no catches.
Yeah, a little rough too. He had a big penalty and he had a drop too. So it was a little rough for him. And I kind of think because that wasn't Jared Goff, who he has a relationship with, who he's worked with in the past, might have threw him off a little bit again, having Tim back there. But I expect him to get in the groove of things. I expect them to find plays that are suitable for him, for this wide receiver to run. And hopefully, like you say, hopefully the chemistry between those two guys can grow, and grow.
All right, let's take a look at full team stats from both of these teams. Looking at them, something that stuck out to me, first downs. Okay. Detroit Lions only 12, Cleveland Browns 22. Efficiency for the Lions on third down, 3 of 11. 27%. Browns, they get 38% in there. The total yards for the Lions, 245. Browns, 349. Rushing for the Lions, 168. Browns, 184. I mean, 168 for the Lions, not bad, going up against the 5th best rush defense in the league. And then passing, Tim Boyle, 77 yards in the air. Baker Mayfield, 165. So those are the stats. What sticks out to you?
Well, to me, Danny, if you break that down into halves, you'll see that most of the production came in the second half. We didn't do much in the first half, especially trying to sustain drives. And also, we had some big penalties. If you think about the one series where Cleveland scored, I think we had like 3 penalties that gave them first downs on that drive. So when you do things like that, it really hurts you. It really puts the defense in the in the situation where their backs are against the wall. So again, not playing turnover-free football, not shooting yourselves in the foot with penalties. Those are things that help your offense and help you sustain drives. So hopefully they'll be able to do that early in the game instead of the second half of the game.
At one point, you saw quarterback Tim Boyle draw as many penalty yards as he did passing through the air, which, I mean, you got to get yards somehow. Yes. That's how Boyle in this offense was able to do that. At one point, the penalties really were hurting the Lions, and then the Browns kind of took over in that category.
That's true.
The final penalties, 10 penalties for the Browns and 82 yards. The Lions, 7 penalties for 67 yards. But you just keep seeing those penalties and the times that they are coming. I mean, Amani Oruwariye there in the secondary. Right now, he's considered a gray bearded man by head coach Dan Campbell because he's considered a vet back there, only in his 3rd year. He wasn't self-correcting on those pass interference on the defensive plays like he was last week.
Great call. That's a great call. And like you were saying, timeliness of those penalties. I think that's what killed us more than anything else, or when those penalties happen. And you're right. Again, he was able to self-correct himself the last couple of times. And that's what you look for players to do. You look for players in their growth. You look for them to be able to say, hey, I did this wrong. I know what I did wrong, instead of a coach having to come up and do that. So, yeah, our gray beard, you say he's the gray beard of the secondary? Yeah, he's going to do a great job of keep advancing and getting better and better as the season goes on.
All right, the head coach, Dan Campbell, is up at the podium now. Let's hear from him.
They crushed us. They really hurt us, but, man, guys played their hearts out, man.
Dan, you guys didn't get into the red zone, in the game. You got down to the 25. How much did you struggle with that decision to kick the field goal there with 9 minutes left at the 25?
Yeah, I thought about it, but I told myself the night before, I said, be smart. Hang in there. If we play this game the right way like last week, we're going to have an opportunity to get it back and, play smart. Don't put ourselves in a bind. So I was close, but then I chose to kick the field goal. Felt good about our defense.
You mentioned the penalties, obviously, the one by Jonah. Between periods, what happened there?
Yeah, it was. He said something verbally.
To the official?
No, to the player.
What did he say? Didn't get an explanation?
Yeah, I got an explanation, but I mean, I'm not. It was. I don't know what to tell you. It was something that is said. It was something about somebody's mother. Okay, and there was a lot of talking going on out there, but so it was a penalty.
So you talked about how costly was that, just in terms of it seemed like you guys had moved, sort of had a big run period before you moved the
Yeah, I mean, it hurt. It hurt. And look, he knows it. Sorry, he knows it. He knew it when it came off, But there was a lot of talking going on. And as a matter of fact, while I'm getting told that, I'm hearing talking. So, but that's part of it.
You talk about the margin of error all the time when a penalty like that happens, or Josh's penalty, the offensive pass interference in the red zone. How frustrating are those for you as a coach when you're blowing,
Yeah, they're frustrating. They're real frustrating. And there again, we're not that type of team that can overcome those. Some can, we're not, and so there again, take any one of those away, and it may change the dynamic of that game. So yeah, it hurts. Hurts.
Can you talk about Boyle a little bit today? Obviously coming off the IR and then putting this position started. What did you think about his performance today?
Yeah, look, he was solid. I mean, he ran the offense well. We had no communication errors. He was efficient. He was, look, he was a little rusty, a couple of little throws. He and Swift were on the same page on the first interception, and that's not all him. That's on both of them. The long pick that he had, that was a hell of a throw. Now, you'd like to just pull it inside just a little bit, but, I mean, he pulled the trigger on it, and he gave us a chance. And it's either got to be our ball or nobody's, but you got to throw some of those. So, and look, I wanted to be smart too. I didn't want to throw this kid to the wolves. I mean, that's not fair to him either. So I thought for what we asked him to do, he was solid, and a couple of those interceptions are, there again, one of them, it's like, well, that's the price to do business, and you hope it's not the price because, like I said, it's yours or nobody's. And then the first one is just, you're going in, you're going out, what are you doing? Don't throw it, and so, but no, I'm not disappointed in the kid, I'm not disappointed in him. I mean, he hadn't played since August, and look, he was better in the fourth quarter than he was in the first. So as he got a little bit of a rhythm, he was better.
Dan, go back to the fourth downs for a second. Trying to find the right level of aggressiveness in situations where you're outmanned at times. The 4th and 1 and the 4th and 9, punting with 2.5 minutes to go. Were those equally tough decisions? Whether or not to go?
No, well, the 4th and 1 was tough, but also the 4th and 9 wasn't, just because I wanted to be smart with what we were doing. When your defense is playing like that, and you want to be mindful of making sure that you're being smart with your quarterback, but yet still having a chance to win, I just felt like it was the right thing to do. Thought we'd get that ball back,
Is that why you ran the ball on 3rd down? It was 3rd and long, and you went Swift?
Yes. Yep. That was, just to try to take it, not put him under duress. I mean, that's a pretty good rush team with 95 and 90 on the edge and those guys in the middle. So, now I thought our protection was pretty dang good when we did throw it. I thought Decker and Sewell and those guys up front did a pretty good job.
That's back-to-back games of big rush performances by Swift. Do you think that's sustainable for him to continue to put up these type of performances?
We'll find out. So we'll find out. I mean, this kid is pretty dynamic. I mean, I think more than anything, it's about the load that he takes. How many plays can he play a game, and what kind of plays are those? Look, we got to be mindful, but at the same time, we're trying to win a game. So, he gives us, the best opportunity to win. We got to find ways to get him the football.
You only had 10 carries through the first 3 quarters. His 8th was that long run or something like that. So
it's tough when you can't get first downs. It's tough to get anybody in a rhythm, and it's easy to say we'll give Swift, the first 20 plays or whatever, but that's not the reality of it. But sorry to cut you off.
no, I mean, that's, I guess, what I was asking.
Yeah.
It was about his lack of usage, I guess, was sort of about that, just the offense.
Yeah, it really was. It had nothing to do with him. It was more about where we were at, and should like to get Hawkinson more. Like to get Saint, but when you don't convert on 3rd down, it just makes it tough. And I think a lot of that is where we're at in 3rd downs. Those 3rd and longs, that wasn't going to be conducive to us having success today. Just the nature of the weather and where we're at, and I didn't want to put Tim in tough situations like that until we had to, and our defense was playing outstanding, and I wanted to hang my hat on that.
How about your final drive? I think was in there. It looked like Swift got banged up the series before. Was there an injury thing that kept him off the field those first couple of games?
He just got rolled up there, and then the first one was let me go back. The second one we called for Godwin. The first one was a personnel group that had Jamal in there, and so that's just kind of how it played out, So.
That's consecutive games through regulation. You've averaged about 70
Mm-hmm.
through the 4 quarters. It's really tough in this league to win with that kind of production.
Yeah.
You talked about unlocking it all year long. What
Yep.
do you have to do? Where does your play calling, I guess, fall into the reason for this?
Sure. No, look, I get it. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that question that I was too conservative, and maybe I ought to throw it a lot more. But I'm not ready to do that with where we were at here. Last week was a certain situation. This week was, and man, I think you got to go where the game takes you. And look, we had plenty of ammo in there, but it's also, man, you got to be careful and you got to be smart. And how do you get yourself to have the best chance to win at the end where you're in it? And so I didn't feel like it was right. I didn't feel like it was the right thing to do. And that's just, no, do I see myself, we're trying to win games, 14-13 or 16-13. No, but we'll do whatever it takes to win a game. And so, but I just felt like the right thing to do was try to run it a little bit, try to take a little stress off of Tim, get him going. But, yeah, I mean, look, that's no secret. We need to be better in the pass game.
And I know you talked about the deep ball, the one shot you did take. It did look like a good ball from up in the press box.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about the way Josh, how he handled his end of that play?
Yeah, I mean, look, there again, you'd like it inside just a little bit more, just a tick more. But there again, man, I would just love for Josh, if you don't come down with it, you knock it down. That's all, Look, the defender made a good play on the ball too, but I was glad we got one up and down. We got to be able to do that stuff because everybody's just going to sit on our routes.
Just building off on, talk about being conservative. You said you told yourself to, be smart. How do you, I think we've asked you this before, but how do you sort of marry that idea with this wanting to be aggressive and wanting guys to, go 60 minutes? Does it conflict with that at all?
Yeah, I think, well, what you got to be there again, man. We're playing Myles Garrett here, man. So we can do that, And then, and I love Decker. Decker's a hell of a player, but at some point, the more you pass it and you allow this guy off the edge, he's probably going to make a play, And that play could be the one that makes the difference. That's a sack fumble. That's a strip. That's and because I've watched the first 8 games of it, And you watch last year, and you watch. And I don't think that's fair to us. I don't think it's fair to Tim for this game, Now, if you said Tim plays against Chicago, I bet he's going to be a little bit better. And I bet you can throw it a little bit more than you did. But I felt like we needed to be – that's the way I needed to play that game. And you don't want to go there till you have to. And when your defense is playing as good as they were playing, I don't want to do it.
You know who will play in Chicago or how close golf was, I guess, in some sort of.
No, yeah, we'll see where golf's at. And then assess Timmy, But look, here's what I do know. If Tim's going to be better than he was today. And if he played the third week, he'll be better than he was the second week. I mean, that's just,
Is golf your starter then?
Well, he was our starter before he got hurt, right? So, yeah, if he can go, he's going. Is that what you're asking? Yeah.
All right, thank you guys.
We're going to scratch and claw and fight. And we're going to be something this city's proud of. We aren't just the Lions. We're the Detroit Lions. And we're driven by the best. By the people of this city. We are driven by Detroit.
Coach Campbell getting a lot of questions about the passing game there in that presser. We've said it before, we've harped on it. 40 pass attempts, too much. Dan Campbell does not like that. However, 23 pass attempts today from quarterback Tim Boyle. It doesn't seem like the people asking the questions like that either. It's too little.
Right.
So what is the good amount of pass attempts that this offense should be looking for each game?
Well, Danny, if you're running, say, 60 to 70 plays a game, which normal offenses run, you probably want to be at probably like in the 30s, somewhere close to 30, in the 30s. You would love to run the ball a lot more. And again, get your kind of quarterback comfortable. Run the ball. Give him some short throws or so, some easy throws that he can handle. So again, I think maybe 30 range, that'll be good. And if you're running the ball 40 times a game, you're punishing a team. And I know that's what the big boys up front, because that's what I used to like to do. Us big boys want to eat. And the only way you're going to let us eat, you got to feed us the ball.
Sure thing. Quarterback Tim Boyle completing about 65% of his passes. Coach Campbell saying just then that he's going to be better next week, aka in 4 days, if Boyle has to go, if Jared Goff is still battling that oblique strain. So he can go up from here. Boyle certainly can.
I agree. I mean, think about it, Danny. First game of the year, first game in a long, first start of your career. I mean, I know his emotions had to be everywhere. Now he has that one start under his belt. So next week, like you say, things will slow down a little bit more for him, and he should feel a little bit more comfortable. Plus, this gives the coaches a chance to kind of incorporate some plays that they think that Tim Boyle can run good or can be good at. So again, it's going to do all of them good. Not only just Tim, it'll do the coaching staff good. It'll do everybody good for him to be in there next week, and he should play a lot better than he played today.
We saw quarterback Jared Goff walking past us just a few moments ago. He asked us, what the heck are we doing on the ground watching presser videos? So at one point, with another game 4 days away, do you make that decision soon, or do you wait to see how Jared Goff is doing?
I think you make it sooner than later. You really do, because think about it, Danny. It's a short week. Your preparation is already thrown off for Thanksgiving. It's a lot of things that you won't be able to do that you're normally able to do during a regular work week. So to me, let those guys know in the locker room, let those guys know on the offensive side of the ball, hey, Tim is going to be our guy going, you're at least starting for this game going ahead, and then mentally they could prepare for that. If you don't do that, then it's all, you're wondering. As a player, you're wondering who's going to be back there, which voice you're going to hear, just a lot of different things. So I think Coach Campbell's making the right decision, letting it be known right now, today.
Let's talk about this defensive side of the ball. Aaron Glenn's unit over there on that side. Some really bright spots. I mean, you had Amani Oruwariye interception. That's his 4th this season, 7th overall. We call him the gray bearded man. How does he continue to be at the right place at the right time, week in and week out?
That's the thing. Technique, Danny, technique. He's doing everything right now. He's getting his head back to the ball. He's mirroring the guy. He's staying in the footsteps of the wide receivers that he has to do, and he's going through these guys without getting penalties, and that's the most impressive thing, to be able to defend the pass without going through the guy. So right now, he's doing all the right things, and like I say, he acts like the gray beard back there because guys could follow him. The rest of those young guys, he's showing them an example of how you play the game, how you play it for 4 quarters, and how you play hard for the whole game. So I'm impressed with what he's doing right now. I'm impressed with what Tracy Walker's doing. He's all over the field. I thought Will Harris showed up today. Alex Anzalone. Those guys really showed up, and those front 4 guys, they did a really decent job today. So again, I'm like what the defense is doing, and you can see them getting better each and every week.
You're jumping ahead to that. Alex Anzalone from the linebacker tipped a ball. AJ Parker, cornerback, at the right place at the right time, just scoops that ball right up into his hands.
The tip drill, that's what we call it, the tip drill. So they ran it to perfection. Like you said, Baker tried to squeeze it in there. Alex got his hands on it, and AJ was right there to pick the ball off. So it was great teamwork, and that's what defenses do. When you tip the ball, when the ball is tipped on the defensive side of the ball, you expect your guys to come up with it, and that's what happened today.
I mean, Amani Oruwariye, there are still some things to work on. The pass interference plays on him that came at awful times on 3rd downs. What is he going to look back on that film and really try to correct?
I think the things he's going to try to correct is, again, putting himself in position. As a defensive back, you have to make sure you have yourself in position to make the play. A lot of times they either trail in the play, or sometimes they even in front of the play. When you're able to be right where you need to be at, then it makes it, I hate to use the word easy in the NFL, but it makes it easier, makes your job a little easier for you when you're in the right position. And it has to be great film study, too, because that's how you put yourself in the right position.
All right, Amani Oruwariye is at the podium now. Let's hear from him.
Penalties, third down ones kind of bite you guys, and I think you've got an opportunity.
Yeah, it's tough. We always talk about the position we're in as a team. We can't afford to have any mistakes. I know that's unrealistic being in the NFL, but that's the standard we got to have. Too many penalties in the first half. Third down, couldn't get off the field. We definitely were a lot better in the second half, but just maybe that little thing could have been the difference.
And it seemed to turn late in the first half, or really, and carried into the second half. What turned it from? Was it players? What in particular turned it from?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a lot of adjustments game plan-wise, just executing the call. Less penalties, like I said, wrapping up tackles, and just getting off the field, just executing. That's all it was. And I think, like you said, we did better in the second half.
You sort of mentioned it. You said it's not realistic to play a perfect game, but that's sort of the spot that you're in. And just how difficult is that, especially with the offense struggling the way that it is, to have to hold teams to 10 or 13 points every week?
We try not to even worry about that, man. We got our hands full enough on defense to be worried about what they're doing. They're going to get it going, but we got the mentality if they don't score, they don't win, and they scored 13 points. So.
What's behind the effort on defense? Because obviously it's a tough season. You guys are on the road. You got Nick Chubb on the other side, but you're still making plays. Alex with the tip, and then Tracy with the pick and all that stuff. And how do you keep it going? What's behind all that effort on defense?
Because I feel like since Coach Glenn got here, we've had a standard that we want to keep. Just a mentality we want to play with on defense, and this isn't just for now. This is for years to build on. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we've picked it up a lot as the season's gone on, but still isn't where we want to be at. So we'll clean up the film and keep improving.
You described the interception almost like you were the primary.
Nah, just right place, right time, man. That's all it was.
What's kind of the overall mood of the team right now? We keep asking how that week after week after week. But just the overall mood, man. You guys back-to-back tough games on the road, playing hard. Just what's kind of the mood of the guys around?
Man, it's crazy. You would think that we'd be down and out, but we're not. You got a lot of guys in there who still believing, fighting their tails off, and we know we're going to be on the other side of this at some point. We just got to keep doing what we're doing, man. That's
a Thanksgiving game on national TV coming up.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, you know how big Thanksgiving is in Detroit, so we're gonna come ready to play. I can tell you that for sure. We're gonna be ready to play.
At the end of the game, fourth down situations, Dan elected to punt, and he said he placed the confidence in the defense. What does that mean to you guys when you see that your head coach is making that decision? He's gonna put it on you guys.
That means a lot. That's throughout camp, all that. That's what we work on, putting the team on our back and winning in those situations when the team needs us. And I think we did that in certain spurts in this game. But like I said, it wasn't perfect, and that's what we're striving for. So.
What does it mean to you, fourth pick? You're near the top of the leaderboard of the NFL interceptions, kind of right with having a really good productive season. What does that mean to you have that kind of production?
I mean, it's just giving us a chance, man. It means a lot, obviously. Love to make plays, but I love winning even more. And I know it's hard to say, but I truly do. I've been around winning. I know what it looks like, and we're almost there. But I'm just glad I can make those plays for this defense.
Can you talk about the patience and the mindset that the defense needs to maintain when you have an offense that struggles the way yours has?
Yeah, I mean, if we worried about that, we would be even more, you know what I'm saying? We would just be, our heads wouldn't be in the right place. So we just got to keep our standard and go out there and I don't know how to express that enough. We just go out there and do our job like it's 0-0 every single time we go out there. That's the only mentality we can have, man.
All good. Thanks, Mike.
Appreciate y'all.
Wes Swift next. In here? Yeah. Good.
How tough is it when
Welcome back. We're now going to hear from starting quarterback Tim Boyle, who made his NFL starting debut today. Let's hear from him.
Obviously not the ending you would probably want. It would just speak to your first career start, just what you thought of the performance?
Yeah, you know, it's pretty quick after the game here, but the short time I've been able to reflect, obviously incredible experience for me. Every play that I got, I was able to mentally bank and grow from. You know, early on in the first quarter, you know, Jared told me early in the week, you know, the first quarter, you know, in the first start, it's kind of a blur, and he was 100% right. You know, it happened quick. You know, you settle into the game. But yeah, overall good experience, but at the end of the day, didn't play well enough to win, and that ultimately falls on me. So a lot of room to grow in that department.
What happened on the throw to DeAndre earlier? Were you guys thinking differently on that thing?
Yeah, it's just a choice route, and you know, a good learning experience for me. I have to be a little bit more patient with him. You know, I could have taken a little longer to see and let the route develop. I think ultimately he made the right decision. That's why I'm a little bummed about it. But yeah, just miscommunication, and like I said, ultimately falls on me.
If you threw outside, you went inside.
I thought he was going to just sit it down, and he broke inside. So actually, right when he started breaking out, you know, is when I threw it, and I was like, oh, you know, hopefully it doesn't get caught. And he was bobbing the ball a little bit, but it's a whole different ball game. If even that's an incomplete pass, you know, we're kicking, you know, a field goal, and it's a 13-13 game, and it's a whole different environment. So. You know, you kind of have that as the quarterback. You got to reflect on the game and see how your choices and what you do with the ball impacts the game. And like I said, an incredible learning experience for me. But to be on the negative side of one of these really does hurt.
Does that increase your level of respect for the NFL starting up and like you going in there, you going through the motions, you seeing what they go through on a week-by-week basis? How much more appreciation does that give you for?
It does. It does. It doesn't really blow my mind. I've been in the NFL for 4 years now. You know, I'm not a rookie. It's not, you know, it's my first start, but I've been around it, so I appreciate it. But when you're in there for, you know, a full 4 quarters, it gives you a new appreciation. But, you know, ultimately, they called my number to come play well, and I didn't do well enough, which is the unfortunate part. But like I said, good learning experience. I'm going to bank all those reps, and I'm going to be better for it.
Campbell said he didn't want to put you in a tough situation, especially with their pass rushers and everything else. Did you feel like you were not in a tough situation, or was it almost too safe at times?
No, I think he did a great job with calling plays today. I really do. You know, football games are so fluid. You know, every play dictates the next, and I think he called a great game. But to answer your question, I don't feel like he was too reserved or, you know, too demanding of me. I think he called a great game, and you know, he called his shots when they were there, and some dropbacks when they were there. But like I said, you know, ultimately it falls on me, and I got to be better.
Now that you've had the game, I mean, how difficult was playing off so much time off, and then also a lot of those, like the Swift miscommunication? I think that was your first time really playing with him in the game. So just how difficult were those things? Yeah,
and reflecting, it was my first time playing with all of those guys. You know, I got a couple starts in preseason. I don't think I had a bunch of those guys. You know, I think first time throwing with Swift this week, with TJ this week. So it was a lot of just getting the timing down. And we worked through those as the week, you know, progressed. But yeah, you know, I haven't played football in 10, 11 weeks. Not an excuse at all. But, you know, like I said, the fact that I started today, I have these reps. I was in the pocket with that incredible pass rush they have. I mean, it was a great learning experience, something I'll remember forever. But you know, a loss doesn't feel good.
As you play Thursday, how much do you think this helps now having one under your belt, and would the expectation be to play even, you know, better with some of the experience that you gained?
Yeah. My expectation is to play well every week. That's my expectation as a player. That's what the team expects from whoever's playing quarterback for the Lions. And ultimately, you know, the quarterback touches the ball every play, and it's up to us to go get the win. And great learning experiences today. You know, it's frustrating, but looking back, all you can do now is just reflect on what you did, watch the film, be critical, and grow. You know, I don't want to sit here and self-pity and feel bad for myself. What I can do now is recover, learn from my mistakes, and be a better player for it.
Tim, what about the deep ball to Reynolds? What did you think when the ball was in the air? Did you think you had a shot there with that?
Yeah, you know, I saw the safety cut the crosser that TJ was running, so I knew it was going to be one of those 50-50 balls. Really good corner in the boundary there, number 21. You know, he was going into the game one of those guys. You were like, all right, let's be cautious of this guy. So, you know, throwing up a 50-50 ball, expecting Josh to go make the play, but stuff like that happens sometimes. And a good corner gets paid a lot of money and steps in front of the ball, and another great learning experience for I think the both of us.
Stepped in a little bit late. I don't know if you explained the Swift interception. Looked like he was cutting in. You looked like you were looking for a sit down. Is that just reading the coverage differently?
Yeah, ultimately that falls on my patience with the play and being a little bit more patient and letting the route develop, so I'm not. I don't want to say guessing, but I can do a better job of reading his body movements in certain choice routes. Ultimately, I think he made the right choice, and I can be more patient, and like Zen, so something I'll learn from and grow from.
Again, it's at the expense, you get better in your second start, and then if your third start, that comes, consecutively. With the short week, what is that as far as limiting how much you can improve in a few days, 3 days, 2 days?
I don't think it limits much. The growth happens in the mind. Physically, we all have the talent. It's the NFL. I think the part that on a short week, and every quarterback on a short week, is evaluating yourself in the game and then having such a short turnaround and getting ready for now the Bears. So I do agree that with every rep that I get, whether it be a start or if I'm out there for a single rep, I'm going to continue to get better because, like I said, guys, I've been in the NFL for 4 years. I think before this game I threw 4 passes. I completed 4 of them. I haven't had a bulk of experience in the NFL. So with every opportunity I get, I'm going to continue to get better, and I firmly believe that.
I think I asked you the other day, what Saturday night, Sunday morning would be like before you first started. You said you thought you'd be calm and whatnot. What's your thought?
It was kind of a roller coaster at times emotionally. You get amped up, and it's your first start, and you're away, and you're at a cool place like this where the fans are going to be loud, and it's you kind of have that kid-like energy, but also at quarterback you have to be calm, cool, collected. You have to think clearly. So all week it was kind of just a matter of finding the middle ground between those two, and I think I did a good job. Leading up to the game last night, had a great session with our practice squad quarterback, Steven Montez, who went through every single call on the call sheet. And I felt really good about the plan. And ultimately, at the end of the day, we didn't get the win, and that falls on me. It really does. And we'll be better for it, but we're looking forward to Chicago.
A little random, but you drew them offsides 3 times. Was there anything to your cadence that you saw in film that you were able to manipulate?
No, not necessarily. We knew that they were a jumpy group just because such an aggressive pass rush. So under center, when I was able to use my cadence, I tried to mix it up just to help our tackles out. When you have 2 edge rushers like that, it's tough. So I knew going into the game I had to switch up my cadence. But I do want to credit Aaron Rodgers for that one. He being around him, truly, that's really where I learned my cadence from, and understanding voice inflections and understanding what defensive guys are trying to hear. He's one of the best to do it, and I credit that to him. But it was good to see it work at a game, and we were able to get a couple free ones.
Guys, 2 more.
We saw the Army camp. We saw it a little bit today. How much would you like Dan to cut the offense loose a little bit, throw deep a little bit more often?
Well, that's not up to me. Whatever call he calls is going to be great, and it's up to us to execute what he calls. And we all trust him. He's an awesome head coach. We love playing for him. We love fighting for him because he fights for us. He really does. And when that play comes in my helmet, it's confident, and it's my job to relay that confidence to the group in the huddle. And I think that happened today. Second half, we got it going, but we just fell short.
That's one emotions of obviously being here in this environment, going to another completely different environment, going back to Detroit, Thanksgiving Day, a lot of tradition. Just your thoughts on entering that game as well.
Yeah, Thanksgiving, man. I remember watching Cowboy games and Lion game when I was a little kid, and just the fact that I get to partake and just be on the roster of an NFL game on Thanksgiving is just going to be so special. And it's interesting because it is the shortest week in football, because I think we have the noon game. Is that correct? Yeah. Shortest week in football, and David Blau always lets us know, hey, it's the shortest week in football. We got to turn it around, and he's right. But Thanksgiving is going to be special, and it really will. I was actually talking to one of my cousins, and every Thanksgiving we got together as a family, and we used to watch the games, and he just said, just the fact that you're going to be out there, and it's going to be you out there on the field or on the team is just going to be so special. So Thanksgiving's a special day. And I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
Thanks, guys. We're going to have some here, Anzalone in the hallway, and that's it.
You just heard from starting quarterback Tim Boyle, who's given credit to Green Bay's Aaron Rodgers, who he backed up for 3 seasons in terms of cadence and getting your inflection right. But we want to stay on the offensive side of the ball. We're going to the play of the game. What else than running back DeAndre Swift's 57-yard run to the house?
Yeah. See, you might have to wash my mouth out with soap when I say this, but he did some things that little fella I used to block for.
Ooh.
It's some
You want
things,
to hear this
things.
stat? All right. Okay. 57 yards to the house. DeAndre Swift, third quarter. That made this game 13-7. The next longest touchdown run, you alluded to it. Who else? Running back Barry Sanders back in 1997 had an 82-yard score at Tampa Bay.
Wow.
You didn't even know that. You were bringing up one of your favorite people.
I was bringing up the big little fella and stuff, but I mean, how he sticks his foot in the ground, how he makes people miss. It's just poetry in motion. It really is, man. And he has such a bright future.
Yes.
He really does. And he's our ultimate weapon, the guy that we got to protect. Make sure we take care of that guy, because that's the guy. If there's a horse in the race that we want to run with, he's the man.
We're calling up DeAndre Swift for that horse race. He had 14 rushing attempts, 136 yards. If you recall last week, he had to rush over 30 times to get about just around that number. So he's being incredibly efficient coming here into week 11.
Yes, those big plays help, and you're right. He was efficient. He gave the defense fits. He really did. And then I also think with Jamal being back, Jamal didn't get a lot of action, but just the threat of Jamal being back, I think that helped them out too. And just to have those two guys back there, it gives the defense so much to look at. So, again, I think our running game with our offensive line is in great shape. It's just everything else on the offensive side of the ball we have to catch up with.
Correct. Looking at running back Jamal Williams' stats, 7 attempts for 11 yards. All right, that pretty much wraps up this show. However, let's get to those around the league scores. Okay. Ooh, let's entertain ourselves today. I've got the scores in hand this time. All right. Me too. Houston, Tennessee. 22-13. Am I reading that right?
I can't believe
I think
it.
I just read that right. Philly over New Orleans, 40-29. Miami getting the best of those Jets, 24-17. Ooh, a close one in Green Bay. And Minnesota pulls it out, 34-31. Oh, I wish you could all see Lomas's facial reactions to this. San Fran getting a big win over Jacksonville, 30-10. You had Baltimore. Ooh, we were watching a little bit of this in the press box, not going to lie. Baltimore getting the close win over Chicago, 16-13. Andy Dalton had to go in for an injured Justin Fields. You could be seeing a Tim Boyle, Andy Dalton matchup brewing. Stay tuned for that. Washington getting the final over Carolina, and Cam Newton facing his former coach, Ron Rivera. Yeah. Washington gets the win, 27-21. Indy, oh my God, what is happening in week 11? Indy, 41, Buffalo, 15. What is going on? New England, 25, Atlanta, zip. Ooh, all right, Monday night, New York Giants, Tampa Bay. Okay. Sunday, tonight, these are very out of order, fam. Stay with me. Pittsburgh taking on the LA Chargers. That goes down at 8:20 p.m. tonight. And then in progress right now, Arizona currently leads Seattle. Dallas is falling to Kansas City. And Cincinnati is getting a close one over Las Vegas here in the first half.
You say interesting.
Interesting week 11. It truly was. Okay, that wraps it up from us here at First Energy Stadium. 13-10 the final here. 13-10 here, the final. But before we close it out, my producer yelling at me in my ear, please give us your first initial thoughts as the Chicago Bears come to town on Turkey Day.
Dannie, tradition. That's what I'm going to say. That's what used to always be thrown, what's always thrown at us. This is tradition. You don't lose on this game. We're the first team playing on Thanksgiving Day game. The whole nation is watching. The state of Michigan is watching you. So boys, go out there and play harder than you played all season long. That used to be,
Can I go out and play now?
You ready?
I think so. Oh my gosh. Yeah, one thing is, we take Turkey Day very seriously in the D.
That's right.
We'll tell you that.
Absolutely. And some good eating after Turkey Day, too. It makes the turkey taste so much better when you win.
Post-game nap, post-game turkey. We are here for it. Okay, the golf cart fumes in this tunnel are starting to get to me, so we're closing the show out. Lomas Brown, Dannie Rogers, 13-10 the final here in Week 11. Lions fall to the Browns. We'll see you Thanksgiving Day. Detroit versus Chicago. We'll see you then.